We're getting to the middle of July. You wouldn't believe it with the weather we've been having. But what has happened this year is a lot of things have grown really vigorously. Now, I know we're supposed to not cut rural hedges, and you've got to be careful of hedges because you've got to watch for bird life, and that is very important. But we've been cutting some of the more ornamental hedges, and this one I wanted to show you because if you come in close, I'll show you the damage you caused. Look at that. See? Look at that. Look at that. And you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Because look, a leaf like that can't survive. So what it does is it dies, goes brown, drops. As simple as that. So when you're doing laurel, use your secateurs. Yes, we use Felco, but we also use bulldog ratchet if it's really thick. And don't forget, we've also been trialling those, I'm trying to think of the make, but the electric ones with the battery. Stiga, the yellow ones, you've seen them. You've seen me cut stuff that's that thick. So we've tested all those different bits of kit on World Radio Gardening, and you can see the results of what they're like. Right, let's move on from that with jobs to do in the garden. This bed is just blank, nothing in it. Bit of honeysuckle at the back. We let the berries come through. We've deadheaded the rose. There's a bit of rosebud showing up there. Bit of a wild area. I've actually wired that over the past few years, and we just tuck in some of the long new growth of roses. And in fact, what we do is we circle them. I don't know whether you can see that, but there's a circle of it. And what happens is when you bend a stem of rose, because it's growing vigorously at this time of the year, what will happen is it will produce all new growth at the top of it, because you've actually caused it a bit of tension. It will shoot the buds at the top and then they'll flower. So that's really important. Moving on, fruit, really important this year. Good year for, very good year for plums. I've been up to Tiptree to Wilkin Jam, which you'll find on our website as well. Talking to them about fruit. It's been a slow process growing fruit this year, which if you go to the one on strawberries, you'll particularly find that I've got a lot of information about why and what. Equally, plums were very good this year. No, I'm not holding a plum, I'm holding an apple, but plums are very good this year because there were no late frosts. And so, yeah, there's some mulberries aren't looking too bad up there as well. So that's Tiptree. Look out for my trip to Tiptree. But this is talking jobs for July. Now, if you come in a little bit closer, you'll see that the cluster of apple here is really heavy. I mean, look at that lot. Well, you firstly get rid of those. There to go. And then you look at it and you say, well, hang on, can this tree really produce all that? Well, the answer's no. So take a few off. You take that one, that's a smaller one. It might, there's three. We'll drop them on the floor for now. And there's another smaller one round there. Oh, and the big one. But okay, that doesn't matter, because if you look at the tree generally, it's got loads and loads of apples. I've taken that down to 2 apples. Now those 2 apples will then have the chance of drawing the nutrient from the tree and actually ripening up to be really decent sized apples. And this tree, I have to be honest, it's old. I don't know its variety. It's a cooker. It makes a very nice apple pie, I can tell you that. And with hot custard over the top of it, fantastic. I do like my food, and that's why being a gardener is so important. What other job should we be getting on with? I keep reminding you, in the veg garden, keep sowing. Sow your carrots every 2 weeks, sow your lettuce every 2 weeks, sow your radish every 2 weeks. Did I mention spring onion? I might not have done. And I would, if you can find some bean plants, find some more bean plants, or even sow a few beans at this time of the year, because you'll still get French beans all the way into the autumn. There's some great varieties out there, so have a look at that. I'll be showing you my little veg plot a bit later on in the next couple of weeks, but in the meantime, keep sowing that veg plot. Now, if you've got children and they're coming into the holidays, why not get a container and show them that you can grow things in containers really easily? Radish, lettuce, and even a few carrots. We've grown carrots in our little veg pot with children. We've shown children how to grow those, and they've pulled them, they've top-tailed and eaten them, and that's really fun. Some of the couple of the children have never eaten the French beans that they picked off their little plot, but they tried them. They wouldn't eat them when they come out of a packet, but they'll eat them because they've come off their little plot. What else should we be doing? Roses, watch for black spot, quite a bit about. Spray for black spot. It won't clear the black spot you've got, but the new growth will come clean. What else? Feed roses at this time of year, because June, July is the months when it starts to produce its new flush of flower, and that will give it a bit of a boost. As I say, spray for black spot, feed the roses, feed the garden generally, and don't forget, if you've got bedding plants, deadhead things like French marigold, African marigold, really important. If you've got antirrhinum, deadhead those, cut, nip the tops out. Geranium, don't forget, don't just take the heads off the geranium, go right down the stem and take it off down where it joins the main stem. And feed all that bedding. Feed the containers, liquid feed them, and feed those hanging baskets as well. So there's just, I'll tell you what, if you did that lot over a weekend, you'd be sitting in the chair in the afternoon, wouldn't you, exhausted. But no, enjoy your garden, just do a little bit at a time. And if you want to learn more about gardening, just come to worldradiogardening.com, the website. You can check it out. Ask me personally questions and I will answer them straight away. Just send them along to post@worldradiogardening.com. I'm going to carry on thinning my apples.